Coming to Miami, I was a little nervous because I was coming, 800 miles from home, but little did I know that when I got here, I would find a family and a home away from home, with other tribal students and with Bobby Burke, who I call my pseudo mom now. She's gone through my ups and downs with me. But as a student at Miami, you really are a unique student. On the first day of class, your professor always asks you to, say your name, where you're from, and then give an interesting fact. Well, I'm sure a lot of us have used, well, I'm Miami Indian, as your interesting fact, and everyone in class is always like, really? That's so cool, I thought they were extinct. And so that's one unique experience here at Miami, which I've used all 4 years, I can say that, in almost every class. And as a gerontology major, we're pretty small, so I'm sure everyone has gotten kind of sick of it. But and also as a tribal student here at Miami, you get to be involved in the tribal class, as we call it, and that's led by Daryl Baldwin. And in that class, we get to learn, my freshman year, we learn the language, and then you learn all about your culture and your heritage and just your past in general. And comparing that in my other classes, it's really helped to enhance my understanding in other classes. And for example, right now I'm in global aging, and we're talking a lot about different cultures and different grandparenting styles in different cultures, and that's really I feel like I had a deeper understanding because we talked specifically about Native American culture in that class, and I felt like I came in and had a deeper understanding of what was going on in comparison to some of the other students. And also with the language, I took Spanish last semester, and I had trouble saying between Aya and Hola. So half the time I would say Aya in Spanish, and half the time I would say Hola. But also coming to Miami has provided me with many opportunities that I would have never have gotten had I gone to, say, Oklahoma State and just been another student. For one, I'm the representative, the tribal member on the Bicentennial Committee, which has been a great experience over the past couple of years. And also, I've been able to work for the project. I was over the past 2 years, from 2005 till December of 2007, I was the cookbook project assistant, and I did not know much about plants before that, and I now know. I now have a lot of knowledge about traditional plants, and I'm very excited for the cookbook to come out. And also, after the summer after my freshman year, I was able to be a camp counselor at the very first language camp in Miami, Oklahoma. And that was a great experience. That was probably, in that week, I learned so much of the language. I went home, speaking the language, and, would go out to eat places and want to speak the language, and it was a great experience. And most of all, I would say it's provided me with knowledge about my heritage and knowledge about my ancestors, and it's given me the ability to educate my friends, others, on the Miami culture. A lot of my friends here haven't been in contact with a lot of Native Americans, but coming from Oklahoma, that's kind of the norm for me. Everyone's Native American in Oklahoma. But so it's really given me a chance to educate my friends on the Native American culture, and specifically the Miami culture. And overall, I would say this has been an incredible and unique experience, and I would not have gotten these opportunities had I gone to another school. So it's been great. Thank you very much.
I just sort of want to paint like a brief picture that first year at A1 Zapata, the educational program that Kelsey was speaking about in Oklahoma. And there's numerous images that crop to mind where people mention that experience. And one of them is every morning Kelsey getting up from her young group of young women she was working with, And at least one or two of them, if not three or four, are all trying to hold her hand as they're walking to breakfast, with the sun coming up and kind of the dew on the grass. And it was a very, heartwarming experience to watch that bonding, to watch someone I saw here in classes grow and then watch her sort of bond with the kids there. And if there's one image of Jake that crops to mind from that first experience, it's the catching of squirmy, slimy things in the creek. And he and his group were always in the creek bed, attempting to catch the largest snake possible, failing at that, frogs and toads and turtles, and bringing them back to discuss and share, and then very carefully and gently put back into the creek. So our next speaker is Jake Law.
Thanks, George. So what George described there was pretty much one of my favorite experiences. And before I came to Miami University and joined the group of tribal students here, that was one thing that I kind of missed out on a lot as a tribal member. And when I grew up, I learned, I was a Native American, I was Miami. But it was more like a line of ancestry that I really had learned about but didn't really feel a part of. And so through all the books I read, I was interested in it, and then the opportunity here came up, and I said, that would be an awesome opportunity. I get to know, more tribal students and have some opportunities with the tribe. And so that's kind of just where it all started off. And as I came to Miami, I kind of began to focus down on what I wanted to do with my career. And I'm interested in ecology and habitat conservation and restoration. And that just plays right into a lot of the things that the tribe is working with now. And so, starting off, it was really fascinating to get into the language. It started at St. Mary's Kelsey, so we got into the language, and it was fascinating to see the different aspects and the whole different side of how culture goes into a language, and just the different ways that a language is built. So that was a great opportunity to see that as a whole new light on how to look through the world and look at the environment around us through a land-based culture and language instead of English, which can be good for describing some sorts of things like science, but less appropriate for describing the environment around us. And also another thing that just has been awesome, along with the summer camps, is other opportunities that have come up with working with the tribe and different things. I participated in 2 of the Ewan Sapata summer camps, and those were just amazing, getting to know the students and people from different areas, from Miami, Oklahoma, and from other places around the U.S. And it just kind of made me feel like I was becoming more and more a part of the community and becoming more Myaamia instead of just being a Miami Indian. And that was something that I had never really thought would be completely possible, to kind of join the whole community that is our tribe. And I also went on a trip to the Smithsonian in DC with a bunch of our students and got to see a lot of tribal artifacts, and we got to photograph them so other people can see them on the internet. And that was an amazing experience to be able to see things that our ancestors made, and was just a connection that I had never even dreamed possible. So that was an awesome experience. And now, as I'm kind of getting ready to graduate and looking around at what I'm going to do, I have this whole new perspective on life and how I'm looking through things as a Miami Indian and concerned about the community. And it's just a great opportunity that we had here, and I could not see any better way to get to know and join the tribal community. So I'd also like to thank everybody that's responsible for putting this together, because it's something that's invaluable, and it's something that will stick with me forever. So thanks.
Our next speaker is Amy Mowry, who has been a counselor at every single A1 Zapata camp so far. And so I have a multitude of memories, but again, thinking back to that first year as sort of a seminal moment in that educational experience. My image of Amy is she was working with our older group of young women at camp from about 13 to 16 years old. And watching her, they weren't trying to hold her hand, which is an unfortunate aspect of aging. They don't want to do that anymore. But they very much wanted to sit and be near her and listen to her talk about her experiences here at Miami. It was very clear to me, whether it was to them or not at the time, how she was a role model for them. And her experiences here were influencing the way they perceived her and maybe even thought of their own future. And that again was a very, a powerful moment without necessarily the obviousness of it, and one that she's continued to build on those experiences. So with that, ask Amy to come up and share experiences.
Alright, my name is Myaamia, like we said, and I'm a history major, senior, and with an emphasis in Native America, and especially Miami history. Before I came to Miami, I lived in Lawrence, Kansas, home of Haskell Nations University, and in high school, I think everybody, even nowadays, people look at you and they judge you by your skin color. You're either white, African American, or if you're darker, maybe Native American. So when I say I'm Native American in high school, they laughed at me and if you can't tell, I'm probably the whitest person in this room. And so they would laugh, and I would keep it to myself and just be like, I'm Italian. I would name some other part of my heritage and be white so I could blend in. It wasn't until probably my sophomore year here that I really connected with the tribe. I came here as a marketing major, and didn't really feel connected. I'd gone to the tribes, and I'm also very shy. So, I wouldn't talk to anybody, so I didn't feel that connection. I would just go to the powwows and go to the annual meetings and not have any connection with anybody until I went to the camp and started building bonds with people. And probably midway through my first semester of sophomore year, then I realized I can't do this anymore. I cannot be a marketing major. I cannot live my life without having Miami and my culture some part in my life. So I changed to history. It was a pivotal moment in my Miami University experience until I finally felt like I was doing some part of the tribe, some help. I feel like I went to history from marketing so I could somehow contribute to the tribe and better my experience here. And I've done that through all the years of the classes, and those classes I built my connections up that I finally feel comfortable enough even to talk in front of a bunch of strangers and friends and family about my experiences here. I can see it through my brother now. He's also a sophomore, and he experienced the same thing I did, being white and not in Miami. And I can see it through a bunch of kids. And I just feel that I was able to have experiences that most people are not able to have. They're not able to awaken to some part of their culture and better feel more connected inside. They're more not an empty void in your existence. Because when you say you're Native American and people look at you funny, you don't really feel like you're saying it, but you don't feel it inside you. But when you say you're Miami and you actually have a connection with the people, you almost feel like it's coming through you. I can't explain it, but it's much different when you're able to have the relationships you are able to build that I wouldn't be able to have if I wasn't able to come here. As the A1 Sabado camp, I've done it the last 3 years. I'll do it forever. I told Daryl that if I can't be a counselor, I'll be I'll do anything. I will clean the toilets, take out the trash. I will run to Walmart. I will do like any little chore just so I can go back. It's just the most positive experience in your life that I will never forget, and I hope to always be a part of. You guys know, I'm graduating this year, and I really hope to get a job with the tribe so I can somehow help and better the tribe through history and learning more and helping the children more, which that's what I feel like was my calling, I think, is to help the younger generations and the older people fill the void that you probably don't get when you're, 18 and you don't know very much about your life, that you finally find. So I think my experiences at Miami have made me a better person, have made me experience more, and made fill a void in my heart, and so that's the way to feel.
Anyway, we have a few minutes for questions. Yes?
Just a comment from the other side, from a faculty member at Miami University. The benefit to the university of having the tribal members on campus is just tremendous, so enlightening, exhilarating, mutual partnering sort of projects and learning. So you can't put a price on it, but the benefits really go both ways.
Thank you. Yes, Dan.
Amy spoke a little bit about how this experience has shaped the way she sees herself being involved in it, has shaped the way you see yourself going forward professionally.
Yes, for me, coming here and working with the project and getting super involved with the tribe, I plan on attending physician assistant graduate school in a year. And I'm hoping to, well actually, I'm applying to the Indian Health Services, and I'm hoping to work for them after I graduate in order to give back to not only my community, but the Native American community in general. So that's definitely, before I came to Miami, I wanted to just be a regular PA, but now after coming here and gaining some of the experiences and knowledge I have, I really want to give back to the Native American community.
I would agree with that as well. I would say that right now I'm still, did I turn it off? Okay, get real close. Okay. As for right now, I'm looking to become more educated as well and pursue actually building my experience and career. But I definitely see maybe working with the Miami tribe or some other tribes as well with things related to my future career that I'm currently working on towards right now. So definitely, yes.
Other questions? Yes, oh.
You mentioned all the positive benefits and so on. Are there any recommendations that you would make with regard to the relationship between the university and the tribe and the university's involvement?
Any recommendations? Actually, I think that we're doing a great job, and I think we're even making bigger strides currently to even strengthen the relationship. But I really don't see any negatives or anything that we could help, because I think right now we're doing as much as we can, and I think it's our relationship is as strong as it's ever been, and I think we're in a great place right now.
Any other questions? I have a few for them if no one else has any. I guess a question I would pose to the three of you is, all of you have mentioned this in one way or another, directly or indirectly in your discussions, and I'm curious about how you see yourself as feeling a sense of responsibility to your community that maybe you didn't feel before you came here.
I'll start first with this question. I would say that I definitely do feel much more responsibility to the tribe, and I would say that as I've seen the tribe develop and learned about the history of how it's come along since Chief Olds had the tribe running out of the back of his trunk. I've heard that story a few times. And I just think that what the tribe has been doing and how it's developed has just started to take off, and I could only see benefiting it by joining it eventually, or having some sort of alliance with Bill. I definitely feel that it's a responsibility for every tribal student, and especially for those who have become part of the community. They see what the needs are, and if you can see what you can provide to the tribe. I mean, we're family, so.
I feel like this experience that we should give back to the community. Like, we are able to learn so much. We are grateful to be able to come here. That would just make me probably bad if I just left and didn't, you know, put my footmark or footstep on something, you know, like without being able to help you or help the community, then what purpose am I really being here other than to learn and go get an easy job, but not to, you know, be able to help generations to come.
Yes, and it's not working again. No, there we go. I would say, okay, now it's working. Hello? Okay. I definitely feel a sense of responsibility to pass on the knowledge that I've learned, not only here at Miami University, but from the language camp, from a program I went to with some of the other tribal members, younger tribal members, and George was there as well, a DC trip where we went and spent some time at the Cultural Resources Center of the Smithsonian, or the the Native American,
National Museum.
of the American Indian, there we go. We went and spent a week there in the Cultural Resources Center and actually got to handle Miami artifacts, which was a great experience. And just these opportunities you have to give back to the community, because some of these other people haven't had the chances that we have and haven't had these amazing opportunities that we have. And the only thing that we can do after we've experienced them is to share our experiences and hope that those other individuals can learn from us sharing our experiences, and definitely sharing them with younger generations, because they're the future of our tribe.
Yeah. Any questions from the audience? I have one more that I really want to ask. I think being gone for about 2 years from Miami University, one of the things I miss the most is the Miami Tribe class. Being able to get together with a room full of other Miami youth is an amazing experience that didn't exist when I was a youth. When I got together in groups, there were usually maybe 2 or 3 other people my own age in the room. And so to have that experience here where it's 15 to 20 people around my own age in the same room together discussing things that are very relative to our own experiences, and being able to help each other grow and learn and just have great success here at the university. And so I would love to hear a little more from any one of you three, or all of you three, about sort of the bonding experience that you maybe felt you had in the tribe class, working with everybody.
As I said before, the tribal class coming together once a week, and a lot of times that's the only time we get to see each other, because we are spread so far across the campus, and we're all different majors and have different interests. But that one day a week, for that hour, we get to come together and spend time together, and it's great, especially when we have pizza. That's awesome too. But it really, like I said in my speech, though, it's a sense of home. We all come from similar backgrounds. it being Miami, we share that, and we share experiences here at Miami. We all go through the same things of, our friends pounding us with questions. And so, we can kind of throw ideas off of each other. We can throw ideas off of Daryl, like, how do we answer these, Because when I came in as a freshman, I had no idea how to answer some of the questions that were thrown at me. And especially questions about the mascot and, all of that. But when we come together, it gives us a chance to, relate to each other and share our experiences with each other and just have fun and get to know one another if we don't have the chance outside of the class.
I agree with that too. It's one way that we can see each other each week. It's the only time I see my brother every week. He's too busy for me. Also, it's also a way to come in and to know people. I came here from Lawrence. Now I guess there's 2 other people from Lawrence, but I was the first person to come from my high school here. I didn't know anybody here. It's, I think at that time there's like maybe 10 or 12 people that I was able to meet and gain friendships with. And now I have tightened those bonds throughout the 4 years that I've been here, and I'm very grateful for that. But yeah, it's the way to find a community, family. You're not so far away from home. You're not alone. There are people experiencing the same thing, and it's very great.
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree with all that as well. Also, just as coming in, it's great to see, as a freshman, you come in, you don't know very many people, and you walk into this room, and it's all these people that you don't know. Maybe you are related to, directly to 1 or 2 in my case, but you walk in and you have all these people that you're related to and you have something in common with, and they're friendships that you can begin really easily. It's a lot easier than walking up to some random person your freshman year and introducing yourself. It's something you have in common with these group of people, and you know that they're not going to disappear on you in the middle of the semester, or because they can't get away. You're going to see them at least once a week. But it's really great to be able to come to a school, a university, and know that you have people that will be your friends and relatives at this university. It's really a great thing.
Nana. Yes, Nicole.
Just to build on that, do you guys as seniors see yourself as mentors?
Well, I see myself as a mentor. Kind of. I at least helped my friend Diana decide to come here. I think, or at least that's what I tell myself. I know that I showed her around, and I was telling her family and her dad a lot of stuff before she came here. I think maybe a year before at the tribal meeting at the family day. I got to tell her and her family how exciting it was, and I got to show her around, and I think I built a relationship with her, and she always asked me questions about Miami, and I also see that with my brother too, I hope, too. But yeah, I think we are, I think they look up to us, at least I try to be. I just broke it.
I would definitely say that hopefully we're mentors to the younger students here, and not only with tribal relations or tribal information, but with class schedules. Who do I want to for this class, or is this a fun class to take, or is this a really hard class? Just different kinds of information, or which dorm do I want to live in, or just things like that. We have more experience under our belt than they do, and so I feel like it's our duty to pass it on to them and make their experience a little bit easier, or a little bit more fun, or that type of thing.
Yeah, I don't want to be too redundant, but I have a few cousins that have been here, and that's been really great as well. One of them graduated last year, and I have another 2 cousins that are currently newer here, and I think it's definitely something that you can be a mentor and help them kind of get the feel for things. One of them transferred here from another school, and it's just the whole community is like, you're there to help them out. And so if you need something, you know, there's somebody you can ask and they'll try to help you out.
Any other questions? Alrighty, anything you'd like to add before we wrap up?
Thanks for everything, from the tribe to our family members to those of you who came out today. It's great for us to see all of you and so interested in tribal relations and things such as that. So thank you very much.
Missionaire.